Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it's Paydirt review time again. And I'm also continuing my series where I am on the hunt for the hardest, the most impossible bag of Paydirt you can buy. And for today's episode, we're going to be doing Klesh Guitars Gold Impossible bag. So I'm going to be really curious to find out just how impossible this bag is. But before I do that, I need to flash up the description. So let's just do that. As you saw, a pretty decent description. It gives you a lot of information that it's full of heavies, garnets, as well as black sands, and it also tells you it may be wet. We'll have to find out when we open it. Lately, a lot of the dirt I've been buying has been wet, so be par for the course if it is. It also does tell you there is a 1/4 gram minimum, so let's just open this up, take a gander at it, see if I can open this one. Yeah, got this one. And it is damp. There you go. Wet pay dirt yet again. So I'm going to go dry this one off and be right back again. Alright, finished drying out the pay dirt, and let's weigh it up just out of curiosity because he does not state any weight on this pay dirt. So 10 ounces to go through. Now let's check it for magnetite. It does have a good bit of magnetite in it. So now let's just listen to some music and classify this down. Well, I'll finish classifying everything down, and as you can see, there is a good bit in the +10, -10 +20, and -20 +40, but the majority of it is in the -40. So let's just go get some water, pan this out, and find out how impossible it really is. So have my pan, have my water, have all the pay dirt here, as well as the magnetics I pulled out just to save some time in the video making. I did go through it very thoroughly to make sure there was no gold in this, so I won't be panning this out, at least not on video. So let's get started with the +10 and listen to some more music. Well, finished painting everything out as you saw, and that was some pretty difficult paydirt to go through, but we will talk about that in a minute. For now, let's just show the gold I did find. In the plus 10, nothing. I really didn't expect to find anything in the plus 10, so not very disappointed. In the minus 10 plus 20, again, no gold, but again, I really did not expect to find gold in these two classifications. Generally, when you buy a bag of paydirt that says it's going to be impossible or extremely difficult, you don't want to find larger size gold. Now, in the minus 20 plus 40, I did find some gold, probably 30 to 40 pieces, maybe even more in there, so a nice bit of gold. And lastly, in the minus 40, even more gold, a really nice big pile of gold. So there you go. Now let's just weigh it up with the minus 20 plus 40 first. $0.075. And I am guaranteed a quarter gram in this. And now the minus 40. $0.205. So let's just add everything in here and see what we get. $0.275. So now let's just talk about, well, there you go, 0.280. So now let's just talk about paydirt difficulty. Now this stuff is really hard to go through. Is it impossible? No. Is it as difficult as the last bag I went through? No, but it is still really hard paydirt. This is definitely hard paydirt to go through for a beginner, an advanced painter, or even an expert painter, because it does have a lot of crushed pyrite in it. So it's a really difficult bag to go through. The only reason it's not as hard as the last bag I went through is because the minus 40 is a little bit larger. It's more in the minus 40 range than it is the minus 50 to minus 100 as was in the last bag. So while it is extremely difficult to go through, it is not impossible, but it is a really challenging bag of paydirt to go through. So now let's just talk about the ROI and the review. All right, finished calculating my ROI, writing up my review, and let's get right to it. This again was from kleshcrumbs.com. It was his Gold Impossible bag, and it was guaranteed 0.25 grams of gold. Its cost was $30, shipping was $10, so total cost right here was $40. Now the gold I recovered right here, 0.280 grams. Now gold spot on the day this was received was $61.58, making this gold's value worth $17.24, which makes my ROI 43.10%. And I was guaranteed a 38.12% ROI on the day of purchase, so I actually did get 5% higher ROI than what I was guaranteed. Now for fun factor, I'm bumping this up a little bit to a 4.5. It was fun paydirt to go through. It was challenging. It's just not as challenging as the last review, but it is still an extremely difficult bag of paydirt to go through, and I am just splitting hairs here. Now for paydirt description, I'm giving this bag an 8. It's got a lot of information in there. It does tell you how difficult this paydirt will be, as well as what the material will be made up out of, so it's a really good description. For quantity and packaging, he's getting a 9. 10 for quantity, because he doesn't really state a weight, and I got a bag of Paydirt, so the quantity is a 10. For packaging, he's getting an 8 for the coffee bag, so total for quantity and packaging is a 9. Now for customer service and shipping, he's also getting a 9. 10 for customer service. I've never had any problems, and I've never heard of anyone ever having any problems contacting Klesh, which you can do through his Facebook, his website, his YouTube channel. He's pretty available for customer service, so he's getting a 10 for customer service. Now for shipping, I'm only giving him an 8. I don't think $10 is a reasonable price for a bag of Paydirt to be shipped when you are only guaranteeing about a 38% ROI. If this was an 80 to 90% ROI, I could understand maybe a little bit because that's how the seller would be making his money. But you don't need to add on an extra $1 or $2 simply because you are making, in my opinion, enough money off the Paydirt itself. So I am only giving him a 9 for customer service and shipping. So total score right here for Klesh Crumb's Gold Impossible bag is a 7.0. Now again, this is a really challenging bag of Paydirt. I don't think it's as challenging as the previous review I did last week, but it is a very challenging bag of Paydirt, especially with the crushed pyrite, some of the black sands. It is a very difficult Paydirt. The only reason I don't think it's as difficult as my last review with Washington Beach mining is because the fine gold isn't as fine. In the Washington Beach mining bag, you will get gold all the way down to -100 and below. In this one, I don't believe any of the fine gold is finer than -50. It's mostly really close to the -40 range. It is, again, still really difficult Paydirt to go through, and I am only splitting hairs here. So if you want something that's really difficult to go through and has a little bit higher ROI than the Washington Beach mining, I would definitely suggest this bag when he has it in stock. So now all that's left is to flash up the score and give away a 24 karat gold plated dime. So let's just flash up the score right here. And now for today's 24 karat gold plated dime winner, that's going to go to CWeave02. So CWeave02, make sure you email me so I can send this off to you. And to everyone else, thanks for watching. Happy panning. And if you're not already a subscriber, hit the subscribe button below.